Hi, I'm Jodi Houge. I'm the pastor of HumbleWalk Lutheran Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. And I started in camp ministry as a camp counselor, 5 seasons. Then I did a decade of youth ministry, and then I went to seminary, and here I am, the pastor of a mission church. HumbleWalk is 8 years old. We started in a coffee shop, and we have moved 8 times in 8 years because we don't own a building. So we use available spaces to gather for worship and every other event we gather for. We're in the West End neighborhood of St. Paul, deeply involved in our neighborhood, and also have ripple effects that go out to a much broader community. I'm a lifer, like a cradle Lutheran, a cradle Christian, and I got to a point in seminary where I realized, wow, I'm going to be a pastor of a church, and I can't think of many churches, or maybe not any churches, that I would actively seek out as just a person, but then also like a church that I would want to invite friends to. So that's what had to change. I wanted a church that I could invite my friends to, like my actual friends, not theoretical friends. I'm a lifer, so I've been leading in some form in the church for my whole adult life. But this particular part of that leading, of leading this church, that sense of call came through my neighbors, actually the people on my block, who said, you are about to finish this weird school that you've been going to, and you're going to do this weird job of being a pastor, and you think you're going to move across the country to wherever you're being called, and why wouldn't you just lead something here that we would want to come to? Like, couldn't you do something here for us? Why would you leave? And I thought, oh, right, yeah, none of my neighbors, not one, are connected to a faith community. So what if we could begin something here and create a community that they would actually want to be around? I think I've been thinking about this question a lot, and I think it has to do with like this 50-cent word, adiaphora. That means like the detail. It's all about the details. And I didn't want to spend any amount of time in the details, which, you know, if you log a decade in full-time youth ministry, you spend a lot of time sitting around tables talking about the details that I don't really have any energy for. So we started a church and decided we were going to eliminate 50 to 80% of those detailed conversations by not having a building. That's been foundational. And it has allowed us to focus on the main things that we want to focus on, which is gathering and sending people. Struggles. Well, we just started. There was no plan, no budget, no 5-year goals, no strategy. We just started. And so the struggles would be, there was no plan, no budget, yeah, like if you want to start a Lutheran church without a budget, it's really hard. But it actually has been, in a way, very much a test of faith for our whole community. We are right on the edge all the time, and we have never had a need that has come up that we haven't been able to attend to. Like, we have been provided for the whole time. So I don't know that I would want to change it. The struggle has been real, but it's been like a whole We just, where are we now? So we're entering like in our 8th season. My memory is a little slippery of like, when was the actual start? Because it started so organically. But yeah, so we're entering into our 8th season, and we're entering into, for Sunday worship, we started, the very first thing was Sunday worship. We just thought we're just going to keep the main thing. And we started in a coffee shop, and then we moved to living rooms, and then we moved to a storefront that was empty, and then we got kicked out of there, so then we had to move to a park. So we were like homeless and squatting in a park for a season, and then we found an amazing art studio, and then we had to leave that, and so then we were back in the park, and then we just spent 2.5 years in a Jewish nursing home, gathering just for the hours of worship on Sunday evening. And we just this Sunday ended our worship life in that Jewish nursing home, and we're moving into the first church building for worship that we've ever been in. And like, we haven't been a worshiping community in a stained glassy church building. But there is one that's an event. It's an event. It's not a church. It's a space, but it's a turn of the century church building that's used for other events. So we're one of those other events, and the challenges so sweetly and thoughtfully came up in our discussion of are we going to move into this space? People in my community are worried that it will be too orderly, and like we'll eliminate the chaos that's at our core as a very messy community. And I think that's hilarious, because there's just no way we could tame our life together. The pews are not going to be able to do that, to rein us in. So yeah, we're going to figure out how to be a community in a space that was built for a faith community, and that's really weird.